Hi, Wannabe Homesteader friends and floss tube friends and quilt tube friends. This is the first one of my chats. I want to do like a chatty time, so you can sit and stitch, sit and quilt, sit and listen to me while you're gardening. I mean, I probably won't have anything mind-blowing to say, but it's fun just to have a friend along. So that's what I'm doing here today. So I'm going to take you on a little tour in a bit with the room above our barn that we're going to turn into a stitch and quilting class or room or creative room. I don't know what to call it. One of you give me an idea what to call this. And then I'll take a tour of our garden area. We had this year like the worst freeze you could ever, for me, that I could ever imagine. So we froze. No, it rained, and then it snowed, and then it rained and froze, which made, like 1/8 of an inch of ice. So it was scary. I just stayed in the house. Scary, that's a strong word. More like made me cautious. I am not falling. My sister will attest that although I think I never fall, I fall all the time. I'm sure in my head I never fall. But, when you're always on the ground, you probably fall a lot. Oh dear. So anyway, I was really worried about falling. So I just stayed in the house and did things around the house. And I learned a new granola recipe that I will share with you at a later date. But anyway, I just stayed in. Ed stayed in. And then Ed had a hunting trip planned. And so he, some of you saw the picture on my Instagram where he was going down we kind of have a steep driveway. And he was going down the driveway with a hammer, breaking it up and then shoveling it off so that he could get his truck down because he was not going to miss hunting. Well, and he shouldn't because it cost us a pretty penny. But anyway, he was doing that, and that day he got out. He was fine. He got over the hill to Eastern Oregon to hunt. So I'm home. I'm thinking everything's fine. And then we got another rain. No, everything started to melt. And then that night we got another rain and it froze, and it rained and froze. So we had a good 1/2 inch of ice everywhere. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do here. So I'm going to have to sit here and figure it out. And if you know anything about me, I will sit and think and figure for a really long time. I can drive people crazy with how long I sit and think about something. So that night, I had decided that, okay, I guess I'm going to need to eat soon, and the power was out, so I wasn't sure what to do what could I do about the power? There's nothing I can do. And I was just praying that it didn't last long because everybody had been out for like weeks by this time. Some people around us, in fact, they were so surprised because our little road, which has, I think, 5 or 6 houses on it, our power never went out during the first freeze. So anyway, I always put a fire in the fireplace when it's cold to help cut the cost of the heating bill. So, and we have doors in between our rooms, so I'm able to close the door, and then I can sit by the fireplace and stitch. Gee, that's too bad. And anyway, so I thought the power went out, and I thought, uh-oh, I was just getting ready to make my dinner, and now what do I do? So I got a cast iron pan out, and I poured my soup It felt like Scrooge. I poured my soup in the cast iron pan and I put it in my fireplace, which had been burning all day, so it was hot. And I mean, literally, it heated up, I think, in 30 seconds. I mean, I would say 15 seconds. It was bubbling in 30 seconds. So hot that when I poured it into my soup bowl, I could not eat it because it was too hot. I thought, wow, this is amazing. Here it takes me, it takes a couple minutes to heat it up on the stove, but that was really fast. So I heated that up, and our chickens, I was concerned about our chicken water. So we have these things that we could put on the bottom of our boots. Gosh, I can't remember the name of them, but they're like cleats. And when you step on the ice, it kind of breaks the ice a little so you have more traction. So I'd have to take things of water out to them because power was out. So the heater for the chicken water was out. So I would take pans of water out to them till they went to bed. I was so glad when they went to bed. But anyway, within, I think it was like 2 hours, I'd taken the chickens out water twice. And by that time it was dark and they were in bed. And literally the chicken water, it was a big bowl, like those big Tupperware bowls of water, and it froze so quick. Anyway, by the time that happened, the power came back on and it was fine. And so the next day me and Jakey at the time, we went outside and just surveyed what was going on with my plants. And I went, oh dear, all of my pots. I totally forgot about my pots and the plants I had just purchased on the porch. And they were frozen, solid. I mean, like frozen plants, just sticking straight up. But I thought, well, this California girl sure does not know how to deal with ice. So I'm going to take you on a tour of my porch and show you what happens to frozen plants. And the backyard fared fairly well. And then I'll show you, I think I made a mistake in our garden beds. I could have made a mistake, and I'll show you that and tell you why. And then take you down to the quilt room, or not the quilt room, whatever it is, the creative room, the creative studio. Now that would be my room. I don't know. You tell me what I should name this space that's for teaching, sewing, any kind of sewing, and cross stitch, just meeting to cross stitch and quilt together. You tell me, give me names. So anyway, let's go. This will be fun. Oh, I need a drink of coffee after that. This is my Teresa Kogut mug. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, let's go. All right, here we are out in the backyard. I'll take you here first and tell you the issues I hear I'm gonna have. Here's my new bird feeder. We have so many issues with squirrels. And I got this bird feeder and I have no more issues. They climb up the pole and then they get so frustrated that they can't reach it. And what it is it's an 18-inch, where's my finger? It's an 18-inch reach up here at the top. And you'll see it sticks out further than normal. And then it has that clear plastic over the top. So even if they climb on the pole, like I've seen them on the top of that glass bowl around the food, they can't get to it. So they've given up on it. I love it. It's called Squirrel Buster. It's called a Squirrel Buster. Okay, so my garlic's doing great. I gotta pull some weeds out, but it's doing good. I got 3 different kinds of garlic growing there. And our strawberries aren't doing so good, but I don't know. I've never really grown strawberries, but they're pretty dead to me. But it looks like there's new stuff coming in, so maybe they're not dead. Somebody tell me, did I kill them in the frost? I should have covered them differently. Okay, here's where I hear we made a mistake. So look at, this is the freeze. Isn't that amazing? I should have covered everything. So I put leaves in here because I didn't want weeds growing up in the wintertime. So, but I hear that you can get disease from leaves if they're not like dug into the ground. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they're right. This fence is in to keep Jake from digging. Huh, Jakey? Is that to keep you from digging? Let's go over and look at the chickens. So we lost one girl. We had 2 old girls left. Ed got rid of my rooster, but left 2 old girls that don't lay any eggs. But anyway, one of them died last night. That was sad. But all the Teresas are doing good. Everybody's doing good. They're all happy, laying at least a dozen eggs a day. So we're gonna build a, I think I told you this before, a deck out here, and Ed wanted all the weeds gone that are like here. Literally, we put a fence up, let the chickens here, and in one day all those weeds were gone. It's amazing. Okay, let's go onto the porch. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so my daughter-in-law, she was getting rid of this little, I don't know what it is, something somebody built. It was their coffee table, so I'm going to use it for plants on the porch. But we had so many winds in that, it is just a mess. I've got to, this is my husband's contraption. This is his smoker, and he puts a big giant box around it to keep the heat in even more because it was freezing. But whatever. So I have Colleen's wheel I want to put up here. Look at this. Okay, this is why you don't buy plants early. You freeze them. I get so excited for spring, I buy them, and the gardeners must say, oh, here's a sucker. Oh, look at this. So sad. I got to redo these. I still got wood up here. I can't believe how these froze. I mean, they froze in one night. One night. But she's still cute. And it's still beautiful up here. So, I'm going to work on these pots in the next few days, and I'll video those. And the porch area. My umbrella had blown away. Everything was blowing away up here, so we had to put everything against the walls. All right, let's go down to the quilt room. Come on, Cheeky, let's go down. Not the quilt room. Well, I should show you the quilt room. Oh my gosh. Vacation, then Ed got COVID, so, which meant I needed to stay in. I just kept cleaning and throwing things in my quilt room. I'll show you that later. But this is going to be the area where we have the classes. So there's a lot of cleaning to do in here. So this is what I did while we had COVID. I cleaned out all this. This is stuff I've got to get rid of, boxes and that I kept in case I didn't like something, and just other things I got to get rid of. And then I'm gonna, we're gonna finish off the ceiling. Well, first we have to make sure the roof doesn't leak anymore. Look at that. This happened this winter. And then we're gonna, there's a lot more lighting up here. I just don't have it turned on. And, oh, yeah, there we go. I mean, there's a lot more. There's like 8 more lights to turn on in here. But I'm gonna build, either I'm gonna do a curtain or Ed's gonna build a wall so we can have storage back, all my storage back there. But this room is, oh gosh, I figured it out and now I've forgotten. It's 35 wide by, I wanna say 35, no, what is it? 35 deep? Oh, I'll have to tell you again later. I can't remember, I just literally took it, the measurements. Anyway, so some of this furniture, I'm gonna do a coffee bar out of this piece, and this is a sewing machine table of my neighbor's that Ed's gonna fit another top onto, and we're gonna be able to put sewing machine on that. And I have, you know, an old library stand back here, shelving. I won't leave the bed in here. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. I don't wanna get rid of it, but anyway, I'm gonna sell some stuff in here. And this area, I think, will be the cross stitch. I'll have a table here or couch, and probably table and chairs and couch and that. And then over here will be sewing tables, cutting tables, ironing areas. We're gonna put in bigger windows here, there, and behind the bed frame there. And then we're going to also, we're gonna finish off the bottom, the pony walls, the short walls, and the side walls. And then this is an old oil heater, which works great. I just gotta find out from Ed how to turn it on down below so I can use it up here. And then we've gotta figure out air conditioning. So, because in the winter it gets hot up here. And I know finishing some of this off, I think we're gonna put in the, not hardwood floors, but the Pergo is a name of them, or a brand of them, but those kind of floors. Either that or really low pile carpet like where we did in my quilt room. But the floor would be so much easier for spills and that. So anyway, that's that. Won't that be fun? We're really excited to get that going. So let's go look at my messy quilt room. All right, I can't believe I'm showing you this. But just so you know, we're all messy. We're all messy crafters. Okay, here we go. Literally, people have been giving me sewing machines. I think I have 6 sewing machines. So I have sewing machine stuff, things that people have, yeah, they're sewing machine parts, all these different sewing machine parts, things people have sent me. I mean, this is my job today. So I'm gonna start quilting Melissa's, look at all these sewing machine parts. Teresa Kogut bag. I'm gonna start long arming Melissa and Carol Lee's quilts today and cleaning up this mess while they're going. God help me today in here. Yikes. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to show you what we're going to be working on, and I'll see you soon. Bye, wannabes.